Today is Tuesday, November 26th, 2024, day 5 of LiveHard Phase 3. I have successfully completed all 11 of my critical tasks. Day 5's a win. 25 more to go after this. I'm not gonna lie, before we get into this, I'm feeling not motivated to make these every day. I was expecting this so far to be a lot harder than what it actually is. But I don't know, maybe just because we're so early into it, it just feels underwhelming, I guess. Maybe I'm just ready to be done. Maybe it's just that part of the entire LiveHard journey where it's like, all right, I feel like I've learned the lessons that I need to learn. I don't know, with 75 hard, maybe because it was 75 days, that just felt like a huge accomplishment. Phase 1, same thing. Phase 2, same thing. And then I built up in my mind that overcoming all of that, this would be the hardest phase. But it really, at least hasn't started out that way to be hard, I guess. Or difficult. Not that I'm not pushing myself, not that I'm not doing. It's just I really thought all day, every day would be consumed with getting all of this stuff done. Specifically, going out and finding a stranger to talk to, which I had to talk to people at a store today. So I didn't come across anyone here on the well. I did say a couple words to the Amazon driver, but it didn't really feel like much. We're kind of shouting through the window while he's got his backup beeper on, so I didn't count that. But yeah, I don't know. That's the way I'm feeling. I'm not wearing a hat right now, so that's something new. But yeah, let's get into this. I weighed in at my lowest weight ever, 218.5 pounds, so I'm proud of that. Took my progress picture first thing. I drank a gallon of water. First quart at 10:24 in the a.m., second quart at 1:43, third quart at 4:22, and fourth quart at 8:15. It is 9:40 p.m. right now, so I'll be going to bed after this. Ugh. I did two 45-minute workouts. First one was at 9 o'clock, rock with my 30-pound pack. Second workout was outside also at 12:25 p.m. And I was running and walking, so just cardio stuff. Let's see, I added 3 tasks to my power list. I read all of Malachi. Interesting stuff. The end of chapter 3 and chapter 4 is kind of like the answer to it. In the sense that it can be discouraging at times when you are going and doing your best to follow God, specifically obeying His commands, staying faithful to the statutes and judgments and all the different things that are in the Torah. And I don't say that to insinuate that there's a lot. There's really not. But the irony is, at the end of chapter 3, it's questions being posed the proud people, the wicked people, they seem to be doing so well. What benefit is it for us to keep obeying and to hold ourselves to this standard? And God's answer was that God is keeping a record of it, and the day is going to come where the wicked and proud, they're going to be utterly annihilated and destroyed, whereas the faithful will actually be preserved and rescued and saved. And there's an admonition right at the very end, just a couple of verses before the end of the Old Testament, saying, remember the law of Moses. And so I've read it before, but it just kind of hit me today, because I've asked those questions, specifically with business and things. There's been people in my fellowship that have asked similar things. We have businesses that we run, but we don't work on Saturday. So when we go to different vendor shows and trade shows and stuff, we close down on Saturday. Or if it's a Saturday only thing, that's when there's big festivals and carnivals and whatever else. We can't participate in that. because it's on the Sabbath. And so it's tough because that's the day that people make a lot of money. And so we've struggled with these things. Like, what's the benefit of doing this? If we just didn't abide by this, we could make more money. And making money is not the point. God takes care of our bills, which is pretty cool. But this was an encouragement to me, and I plan to share it with folks in my fellowship that I know have gone through similar things, because they've said that. Of just, don't forget, God is keeping tabulation, and He promises the way things will work out. So instead of operating off of how we feel, which is like we're missing out on something, disappointed, whatever. Instead of operating by feelings, we need to operate by the truth of what's in God's Word. We need to operate in the truth of God's promises, because God's going to do what He says He's going to do. And so that's why we keep going, because we love Him, because God is a God who keeps His word. Okay, sounds good. So yeah, reading my Bible, I read a couple chapters for fun in the book Zero G's Part 1. It's actually really good. It's an interesting futuristic sci-fi with some biblical stuff, concepts. I really like it. Prayed for 15 minutes while I was out on my ruck this morning. I took a 5-minute cold shower this evening. Don't know if I mentioned it before, because up to this point I haven't edited any of my previous videos, so normally when I edit my videos it's like, oh yeah, I said that, and then I said it the next day, and I said it the next day, because I keep forgetting the exact things that I say. I don't script these things out, I just talk. So maybe you've heard this before, maybe you haven't, but cold showers in November, very different than cold showers in June. Alright, just saying. Very cold. But I got that done. I maintained my diet. I've had meat and cheese today, and vegetables. Vegetables tonight with chicken. So again, keeping with the diet, same boring meals, high protein, high fat. None of the carbs that are white or could be white, so no rice, no potatoes, no nothing like that. I'm saving that up this week for Thanksgiving Day, which is in a couple days. It's Tuesday, so Thursday, that'll be Thanksgiving. So that'll be my one day of the week where I have carbs, all right? Let's see, what else? Okay, I had a conversation with a stranger. It was several of the deli workers at Walmart, because we had to go there today. I needed rotisserie chickens, and they were still in the oven. And so the guy who ended up getting them out, the others had kind of left. And so I was just chatting with him, asking him if he had to work on Black Friday. He said yes. He's like, but I get Saturday off, and that's always a good time. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. There's nothing better than having Saturday off of work. He was like, yes sir. So he did a good job, got me my chickens quickly, and yeah, so I initiated that conversation there, tried to brighten up someone's day, and he seemed to appreciate the conversation. When we pulled in to Walmart, I guess just the time of year, but there's like little planter median type thing, or like trees grow and stuff in the parking lot. And bunch of people just left their carts on there instead of just wheeling them over to the cart return. So before we went in, I gathered up about like 6 carts and moved them over to the return, and then the guys were coming to pick them up afterwards, and I grabbed another one on another bed, and that's the one that we took in. So that was my random act of kindness that I did today. I moved shopping carts because there are people out there who just don't do that. So I've heard of all the excuses in the book, but so I'll reserve my judgment on those people, but I try to always return my cart. Let's see, I did read 2 chapters, well, the remaining of chapter 3 and then chapter 4 in the Beyond the E-Myth book. So again, we're still kind of in the overview part of just strategic level things that I've read in other of the E-Myth books. So I'm hoping that there will be some newer content coming up. So yeah. So read more than 10 pages there. Ended up being about 15 or 16 pages. So I believe that's all of my tasks. Progress picture, diet, water, 2 45-minute workouts, 10 pages, 5-minute cold shower, task 1, 2, 3, conversation with a stranger, random act of kindness. That's 11. We're good to go. Today's another win. Like I said, 5 down, 25 more to go. I'm enjoying the process. This is fun. It's not as like exciting, as I thought it would be. I'm still able to get a lot more of my stuff done. Working hard on an order to get that done by next week. And so yeah, no alcohol, no cheating on the diet, no excuses. Today's a win. Thanks so much for joining me for these daily check-ins. I pray that you're blessed. Bye.